Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to your newest videotaped math lesson. Today we're working with lesson 8, and this is actually the first video for lesson 8. Just like with lesson 4, there were 2 videos that I needed you to watch. Well, for lesson 8, there's going to be 2 videos as well. So this is the first of 2. So I have some good news for you. And the good news is that today when we're learning how to classify or name triangles, you're going to use all of that information and all of the vocabulary that you learned in lesson 4 because we actually classify triangles according to their angles. In fact, a little helpful hint is that we most often classify a triangle based on its largest angle. So for instance, in this triangle here, and remember that a triangle has 3 sides, you'll notice this angle is its largest angle. And this angle you learned in lesson 4, because it's greater, it's bigger than a 90-degree angle, which is the same as a right angle, we call this angle an obtuse angle. Therefore, we would call the triangle an obtuse triangle. Easy, right? Oh, incidentally, a triangle can only have one obtuse angle. You can go ahead and try to draw a triangle with 2 obtuse angles, but it's not going to work. Let's take a look at this triangle. Now, if you notice this triangle, all of the angles are acute. So any of these, they look about the same, but they don't always have to be the same. But an acute triangle will always and only have 3 acute angles. And finally, the last triangle that you're going to learn about in 4th grade is this one right here. And when we look at the angles of this triangle, we notice that we have an acute angle, and right here is its largest angle. And you learned in lesson 4 that this symbol is very important. This symbol, where it looks like we're squaring off the corner, lets us know that this angle is a right angle. And because of the right angle, we would call this triangle a right triangle. Also, the 2 line segments that form this angle are perpendicular. And this is the only triangle that has a set of perpendicular line segments. So let's take a look at this example. And in this example, they've cut a sandwich in half. And we want to focus on this triangle right here outlined in blue. And we're going to need to figure out whether this triangle is a right, an acute, or an obtuse triangle. And we also have to determine if any of the sides are perpendicular. Well, they give us a lot of hints, to be honest. So we're going to look at this right here. This first hint says, reminding us about what triangles are, it says a right triangle has 1 right angle. And it asks us, how many right angles are there? Well, right here, there's 1. And again, it reminds us the 2 sides that form that right angle are perpendicular. They give us another hint. They remind us that an acute triangle has 3 acute angles. And it asks, how many acute angles are there in this half a sandwich? Well, there's 1 here, and there's 1 here. So therefore, there are just 2 acute angles. So this can't be an acute triangle. And finally, it reminds us that an obtuse triangle has 1 obtuse angle. And it asks, how many obtuse angles are there in this half a sandwich? Well, there aren't any. So therefore, get rid of that. Therefore, this triangle represented by the half of sandwich is a right triangle. I'm going to end this video and I'm going to start the second video.